All right. Well, there's a few people missing, but hey, y'all showed up on time, so I'm going to start on time. So I invite you to get comfortable. This isn't like crazy, let's get our sweat on yoga. This is easy and gentle yoga. So those of you who have joined me before in my studio classes, you know that this is like super chill and it's meant to keep us calm and grounded. So don't worry if it's your first time doing yoga or first time in a long time doing yoga. We're going to have fun. We're going to get relaxed, and that's all that matters. So get comfy. If you want, you can sit up on a cushion. I'm using like a yoga cushion, but you could even use like a couch cushion, just something firm to help lift your hips higher. If you can't sit cross-legged, you can come on your knees, even like this. Like you can, ooh, I almost fell over. Great example as a yogi, and just falling all over the place. Or you can maybe like get a couple cushions together and sit like this as well. Whatever, take time to get as comfortable as you can here. Super important. So now that you bring your hands to your knees and try to sit with a nice long spine. This might be hard. Like if you're sitting cross-legged, you might want to roll back. So you can actually take blocks or books and put them under your knees. That helps. Just setting yourself up, because we are going to be seated for a little bit. So it's better to take extra time now than to be fidgeting and uncomfortable for like the next 5 minutes. So if you want, you can you can close your eyes. So you're still like not talking to real human beings and like talking into cameras. And I'm like, turn off your camera, but it's like, close your eyes. We are living in strange days. Anyway, so close your eyes and bring your hands to your knees or wherever else feels comfortable. And just start to tune in to your breath. Nothing else to do. Nothing complicated. Just notice the breath and how it feels to breathe today. And we're actually going to focus a little bit on breathing today because it's the first line of defense against a stress response. So in any time where you feel like anxiety or stress is coming up, you'll probably notice right away, maybe your breath has got shallow, it's a little bit faster. So if we learn to control our breath, it can actually help influence our physical body, like keep us calmer, influence our emotions. All little tricks so that you can have them in your toolbox when things get a little stressy cakes out there. So it's called box breathing. That's the easiest way to describe it. And what we do is we'll inhale for, let's say, 4 seconds and hold it at the top for 4 seconds, and then exhale for 4 seconds, and then hold it at the bottom for 4 seconds. And it goes on. So we're going to do it for about 5 breaths. So take a deep breath in, fill up completely. So fill your belly, fill your chest. And then open up the mouth and just let it go. Oh yeah, we're going to do that 2 more times. Deep breath in, fill the belly, fill the chest, open up the mouth, let it go. Just letting your shoulders drop. Last time, deep breath in, fill the belly, fill the chest, and hold it at the top for 3, 2, 1. And open up the mouth, let it go completely. Let yourself sink into your cushion or your mat or whatever you're sitting on. And now we'll start that box breathing, that spare breathing. So exhale completely with me. And on your inhale, just go slowly for inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going up 1 second. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale deeply, fill the belly, fill the chest. Exhale out the mouth, let it go. Now close the mouth and we'll sit for meditation just for a few breaths. And meditation doesn't have to be this overcomplicated thing. You can keep counting this if you want. That really helps to keep your mind one pointed, to keep it focused on something. Or if you want to use a mantra, which is just like, a saying. And my go-to over this past, I don't know, month now that we've been on quarantine a little bit. I don't even know what day it is anymore. But I've been using inhale, let, exhale, go a lot. I don't know if any of you out there are also a bit of a control freak, but I like to plan things. I like to know when things are happening. I like to have information and know the answers to things. And basically, I like to control things. So in this situation, I'm kind of like, poof, lost my bearings a little bit, but it's a good chance, an opportunity to just realize that, first of all, I don't really have control over any or half the things that I pretend I do. And also just an opportunity to let go of those reins. Like I'm holding them so tight that my hands have become white, and it's good. It's okay. We can let go of that. And then when we do let go, we can settle into this weird comfort. It's like, oh, wow, I didn't need to freak out about that. Well, anyway, long story short, you can use the mantra of inhale, let, exhale, go. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. Maybe you just want to let go of that idea that you have to be productive all the time. Maybe it's to let go of the idea that you're not allowed feeling scared right now. Or maybe it's the idea that you want to let go of that voice that's telling you not to eat the ice cream because, man, you can eat the ice cream. If you want to eat the ice cream, eat the ice cream. We're at uncertain times, so enjoy that ice cream. A few more breaths here. Yeah, now I want to eat ice cream. So as you breathe deeply, focusing on the breath or on that mantra, just try to notice if there's any places in your body that are a little bit tighter or more tense than usual, and send some space to those places. Try to relax. I know it's hard to do that, especially if you're not used to sitting for a long time. This could be quite a challenge. So if it is, just try to relax one place. Like, okay, if your hips are really sore, just like, okay, 30 more seconds, try to relax those hips. If you carry your attention in your shoulders and you notice they're like coming up towards your ears a bit, just for these last 20 seconds, try to relax them down. Try to find some length through the neck. If you're a jaw clencher, open your mouth wide, stretch out your jaw. No one can see you, so make a face. Open your mouth really wide. And for the last 5 seconds, on your inhale, repeat to yourself, I am. On your exhale, enough. Last time, inhale, I am. Exhale, enough. Yes. Bring your hands together in front of your heart and push your thumbs into your sternum. Your sternum is your breastplate. So as we're going to chant, you don't have to, but you're alone, so like you might as well, right? I want you to focus on that vibration that's coming out of your chest and pushing into your thumb. And Om is basically just like, it's the sound of the universe. It's the sound of everything. So when we chant it, it connects us to something bigger than ourselves. So right now when we chant it, we're connecting to everyone in this virtual studio. So on a deep breath in, fill your belly, fill your chest. Om. All right, you can open your eyes and take a big stretch. Interlace your fingers, take a deep breath in, look up, push your palms towards the ceiling, and exhale, let it go. If you need to move, that was a long time. You can stretch out your legs. You can, take any movement you need to release your lower body. And if you don't need to, come back to a comfortable seat. I'm noticing how much bird fluff I have on my feet right now. Those of you who know probably know I have a parrot, right? And he just leaves little gifts all over the house. Right, hands on knees. Sit up nice and tall. You can even use your arms to push yourself up a bit. And on your exhale, I want you to lean back and round through your upper back and your middle back. Bring your chin into your chest. Inhale, tilt forward, heart, look up. Exhale, round and lean back. So we're just warming up the spine, super slow. Inhale, lifting the heart up, look up. Exhale, round. 2 more like that. No need to rush. Follow your breath. And if you take away anything from today's class, I hope that you can take away just slowing down. So let your breath dictate the speed. Don't let the ego dictate the speed of your body. Don't let anything, just let the breath control it. So inhale back to a neutral spine. And on the exhale, we're going to twist to the right. So bring your left hand to your right knee and then bring your right fingertips behind you, making sure you're not leaning back. I know a lot of us are prone to leaning back because we're not used to sitting, but try to just leave those fingertips floating, like as if there's a delicate little cupcake under the palm of your hand that you don't want to squish. All about the food today, and sweets too. Like, I don't usually like sweets. Talking about cupcakes, ice cream. Geez, what is going on? 2 more breaths. Inhale. It's a chance to sit up a little taller. So push into your sits bones. Those are like the little bones of like your butt bones. So try to push them down. And then on your exhale, pull your navel in to twist. Inhale back to center. Lift your arms up. Now, you may not be able to have them straight. That's okay. You can have them out here, whatever works for your shoulders. And on your exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale. Exhale, twist, looking over your shoulder, making sure you're not leaning too far back onto that left hand. 2 more breaths. Looking over your shoulder on the exhale. Last one, deep breath in, fill your belly. Exhale, twist. Inhale, arms above the head, look up, take a nice stretch. And this one's gonna feel amazing. Exhale, bring the right fingertips down. And then we're gonna lean, just a nice side bend to the right. Make sure that you keep your left sit bone grounded so you're not rolling up onto your right thigh. Should feel a nice stretch for the whole side of the left. Now, this is the fun part. We're working smart, not hard. Well, it'll be harder. Anyways, I'm not going to explain it. Let's just do it. Turn your head to look at the ceiling. And on your next inhale, try to twist your chest a little bit more towards the ceiling. Stretch your left arm back. And on your exhale, turn your chest towards the floor. Now, this doesn't have to be like a really big movement. Like, I'm being quite grandiose about it. Like, just go with what your spine is allowing you today. And inhale up. And then exhale, twist. I just got a notification in my ear that my headset is dying. Inhale up. And on your exhale, bring your left fingertips to the earth, and we'll lean to the other side. So that just means I might have to take off my headset that I'm wearing and speak to you like a regular human being through the microphone. 2 more breaths. Just sinking a little lower if you can, keeping both sit bones grounded. Now on this inhale, twist your chest towards the ceiling, stretch your right arm back. Oh, so good in the chest. Exhale, twist towards the earth. Inhale back up. Exhale round. 1 more. I don't know if anybody remembers this. Does anyone remember the polka dot door? It was like a show that was on in the morning for kids. Inhale back up. Bring your hands down. And at the end, they'd be like, oh, look into their mirror. They're like, oh, I see Frank and Judith. And like, I feel like that because I see that Edie's here and Chelsea's here and Joanne's here and my mom's here. So I feel like I'm on polka dot door. Anyways. All right, extend your legs out. And if you're sitting up on something, you can move it aside. This is for my mom because I know her legs are, she's joining us today from her house and I know her legs are killing her. So this is for you, Mom. All right, open the feet as wide as is comfortable. Now, if you notice you're rounding back, you can grab something and sit back up on it. It'll just help you from rounding. Bring your hands by your side and flex your feet. So I don't know if you can see my feet. Let's see, I'm gonna look. We have technology. I'm just gonna look. Yes, you can see my feet. Yay, okay. So you're pushing your heels forward. Your thighs are flexed. You can keep your hands behind you. And we're just gonna play with the pelvis. So tilt your tailbone under. And then tilt your tailbone back so that you're sitting up really, really tall and then you're rounding. So right away, you should notice a stretch happening here when you tilt forward. And then it dissipates as you roll back. On your next in, roll, tilt forward, but stay there. You can keep your hands behind you. You can even like push into your hands if this is hard because we're on like quarantine. We're stuck in our homes and we're sitting down a lot more than we're used to. Netflix is like a thing. We're always on our computers. So of course we're going to get really tight in the hamstrings. We're going to get really tight in the chest. So it's so important to take this time to stretch out. So props to you guys who showed up and rolled out your mats today. If sitting up straight like this with your hands behind you, if that's your maximum, stay here. It's cool. Just work with that breath, breathing slowly, making sure you're still pushing heels forward, pulling your toes back. You're a little more adventurous today and you want to go deeper. Bring the hands to the inside of the legs and keeping your back straight, you can slowly start lowering down. But I don't want this. No, this is not good. I want long spine, leading with the chest. So think of like proud chest as you lower down. Belly towards the floor rather than forehead to the mat. So just as an example, in my regular practice, so a month ago, I was able to almost lay down flat. I'm not trying to brag or anything like that. I think this is my max now. So it's really important to respect our bodies as they are today. Not be like, oh, I do it a month ago, so I'm going to force myself. Or I did it in high school, so I'm going to like make myself feel awful for not being able to do it now. It's like, no. Our bodies are where they are now. And we're going to give them what they need now. So what I need now is not to be such a perfectionist and just live here in where, like in the place my forward fold is and not push myself to like an injury or pain. And I'm talking continuously so that you like get distracted in this because it's probably like getting pretty tight, right? 2 more breaths. Keep those feet engaged. Keep pushing the heels forward. Keep flexing your thighs. 1 more deep breath in. Lift up a little bit. And use your exhale to fold completely. Go as far as you can, And then slowly walk your hands back. Woo. All right. Bring your feet together now in front of you. And give your legs a shake. Okay, I'm actually going to come and turn off my microphone because I don't want it to cut off in the middle. Live. Isn't this crazy? All right. Oh, actually, we're good. We are good. My phone was just making random noises, but my live. But you know, you've all seen my classes. You know, life gets ridiculous in an Angela yoga class. So feet together and hands by your side, like probably a little bit behind your knees. And then imagine you're trying to walk your booty back behind you and bring your tummy onto your thighs. So with all forward folds, we kind of want to keep lengthening the hamstring. So rather than pointing the toes or letting them just be relaxed, you want to pull your toes back towards your face. Bend your knees slightly. On your inhale, lift your heart, so really long in the spine. Exhale, move forward slightly. So your back is staying super straight. You are hinging from your hips. So you're like, if that is an indicator of what I want you to do, that sound effect. Every exhale brings you deeper. And if you're tight, if your hamstrings are like, no man, you're here, that's okay. Just like in the other forward fold, just breathe, find your edge, and then work there. In yoga, gains are super small. Like, it's not like, you know, you're pumping all this weight. You're like, yeah, 1,000 pounds. And like, you want to get more and more and more. Yoga takes a long time to make a little bit of progress because, you know, we're not building muscle. We're lengthening tendons. We're lengthening things that take longer to change than just adding muscle. 2 more breaths. If you're like able to and you want to try grab for your toes, you can do it, but make sure your shoulders don't come up towards your ears. Keep lifting your chest forward. Keep bringing your tummy towards your thighs. This is like super chill today. I told you it's not going to be a lot of moving around. It's going to be a lot of deep stuff. Oh gosh, there's so much fluff on my socks. Look at this. Unacceptable, Angela. One more breath. And exhale, fold. Yay! All right, inhale, round up. So one vertebra at a time, and then lift your arms above your head. Take a stretch. Your hands down. Now we bring the feet together. So you can either pull your heels towards your pelvis, or if you want to be silly, you can rock your pelvis towards your heels. But I want you to be able to keep a straight back. So maybe it's this far and you're holding onto your thighs, or sorry, your shins. That's okay. I just don't want you to round your lower back. I want you to try your best. Use your arms, pull to sit up straight. Your back is nice and long. If you can get your heels in close to your pelvis, that's cool. You can also grab your ankles or you can grab your feet, whatever feels good for you. A lot of forward folds today. Same principle, our spine stays long, our heart stays lifted. This time when you bend forward, it's still from the hips, so we're not rounding our lower back, keeping it long. Push the elbows towards the thighs so that you're opening up a little bit through the inner groin. And again, just be with where you are. Try to let go of judgment. Try to let go of critique. Because comparison is such a source of unhappiness. Like if we compare ourselves to our, other people, if we compare ourselves to what we see on the internet, or even if we compare ourselves to like younger versions of ourselves, that's just like a recipe for unhappiness. So rather than comparison, let's just like, okay, this is where I'm at. What can I do right now to help this? Well, we're doing it. We're stretching things out. We're giving our bodies what they need. That's right. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing right now. So as you breathe, the inhale carries your chest forward a little bit. So up and forward. And then on the exhale, maybe coming down a little bit. And you can use your arms here. This is not all abs. You can like torque. Push your elbows down. Naturally, you might have open hips. So maybe your knees are already on the floor. I am not like that. So it's taken me quite a while to get this far down. It's okay. We all have strengths. Some of us are really flexible, but not as strong. So we have to, build strengths. Some of us are really strong, but really not as flexible. So, we all have things. Nobody is perfect, which makes us all perfect. All right, slowly come back up. And now lengthen your legs a little bit. So you still have your feet together, almost like you're making a diamond shape with your legs. And then walk your hands underneath. I'm gonna move back so you can still see. Underneath your mollets, your calves. So maybe you can get down so that your elbows are touching the ground. I just want you to be able to round through your spine. So let your head hang, almost like you want to put your forehead into your feet. Doesn't mean you have to do it. It's just the idea, the shape. So let any stress just like stretch out of the lower back. On every exhale, maybe your head comes a little bit closer towards your feet. Maybe it doesn't. It's cool. Just breathe. And let your lower back just decompress. One more breath. Exhale, let it go. Yay. All right. Inhale, bring your hands back to center. Now, take your left knee and kind of guide it to your right heel. Transfer the weight into your right thigh, okay? So that you're not on both butt cheeks, you're just up on your, your right butt cheek. Your right hand moves behind you, left hand moves to the right knee. Deep breath in, sit up really tall. And on your exhale, twist behind you. So you're pushing your left hip crease forward. And you can even use your right leg to push into your left thigh. Now, if you're at your max, stay here, work here for 4 more breaths. If you want to go deeper, bring the left hand to the floor. And maybe trying to keep walking them backwards. And some of you who have come to my corpus classes, I know that you've done this before. You can try to bring your elbows. I'm going to turn so you can see better. So say you're here and you want to go a bit deeper, keeping your shoulders square, bringing your elbows down. Yeah, and then maybe you're really crazy pants and you want to try to lay down. 2 more breaths. You decide. I'm just giving you different options. It doesn't mean you have to do them, and it definitely doesn't mean you have to like them. So just know that they're there to try. 1 more breath. All right. If you're on your elbows, come back up to your hands. Push into your right hand. Take a deep breath in. Lift your bum up off the ground. Stretch your left arm up and back so that your chest moves towards the ceiling. So this is like a variation of child thing. And then slowly you can bring your head back down. Yes. Bring the feet back together. And you can butterfly them a little bit and just notice, is there a difference between the left and the right side now? Maybe you feel a little bit more open on one side than the other. And we'll move slowly to the other side. So right knee goes to left foot. Deep breath in to sit up tall. Transfer the weight onto your left butt cheek. Bring your right hand to your left knee and pull. Oof. And you're probably going to notice that one side's a little tighter than the other. For me, it's turning towards this direction that is a little harder. But that's okay. And you might not notice anything either. You might not notice a difference, and that's fine too. The more you practice yoga, the more you can develop, connection to your body, so you can actually notice these subtle little differences. Or you may not notice. Maybe you're perfectly balanced. But I'm just saying, yoga's good. That's all I'm saying. If you want to go deeper, maybe walking. Oof. Trying to bring your elbows towards the earth. Oh, I'm making all kinds of dad noises right now. Grunting. It's okay. It's just on the internet. It's no big deal. 2 more breaths. I'm not going to try to lie down on this side because I know I can't, but if you did on the other side and you feel like you want to try, go for it. If not, just stay where you are, working in those little small, subtle ways. All right. If you're on your elbows, use your inhale to come back to your palm. Push into that left hand. And on your inhale, lift your hips, turn your chest towards the ceiling as much as you can, and stretch your right arm back. Try not to let your head just dangle, but your neck is still, engaged. And then slowly you can bring the hips back down. Oh, it feels so nice. And then come back to center. Give yourself a little butterfly. Okay. Yeah, this is all we're going to do sitting up. We're laying down now. So if you have had a day already and you don't want to do any abs whatsoever, you can just lay down and meet on your back. But for those who just want to get a small fire lit in the belly, bring the soles of the feet to the ground. 90 degrees. Now I like to have my legs together, but if it feels better for you to have your feet hip width apart, you can do that too. I just want you to push your feet into the ground. Extend your arms forward. And slowly we're going to unwind our spine. So rather than like oil can going straight down, I want you to round. Ooh. So think of like your lumbar spine is slowly rolling. Push into your feet. Push your lower back. So keep rounding. Oh my gosh. And there's going to be a moment when you're just going to want to flop down, but try to fight it. Try to fight it. And right before you hit the ground, take a deep breath in, stretch your arms above your head, point your toes, flex your thighs. And exhale at the mouth. Just relax a bit. All right, bend the knees. We're doing a lot of work on the hips and on the hamstrings and stuff, just because, one, I need it. So that means at least 4 of you need it too. All right, pull both knees in towards the chest for a second, take a rock, and just notice this new relationship to the earth. You know, we're laying down now. A lot more of our body is in contact with the earth. And then slowly, you can extend out the left leg and bring the heel of the left foot to the ground. I'm going to move up a little bit on my mat. So this is called wind relieving pose. So you're in your house. If any wind gets relieved, it's cool. That's what this posture is for. I have a private client that comes sometimes with her daughter who's 5, but she thinks she's like 20. I love her. And the first time we did this posture, I told her what it was called. And she was like, really? I'm like, yep. And she immediately farted. And she was like, why? You told me it was wind relieving. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. The mother was obviously mortified, but I was just like, yes, girl, yes. All right, on your next breath in, lengthen your right leg and interlace your fingers behind your thigh. Some of you have done this with me before. And like if you're used to being able to like, pull your thigh all the way to your face or whatever, maybe you're usually really flexible, but you're feeling tighter. Just try to let go of any negative emotion associated to that. Just be like, okay, this is hard. This is really hard today. You can bend your knee too if you need to, but all I want is you to keep your heel flexing up. So that active attempt to lengthen the leg. If you've been doing yoga every day and you're feeling like flexible AF, feel free, I can't even do it, to walk your hands towards your calf. But trying to keep your shoulders connected to the floor, maybe even grabbing onto your big toe with your fingers. I just want you to feel a really great stretch in those hamstrings. One more breath. Exhale. All right. And then slowly rebend the knee, pull the thigh back towards the chest. And then open your knee as wide as your shoulder so that it's on the outside of your body. Now, first variation for this would be to loop the right hand behind the knee and try to push your heel up towards the ceiling so that you have a 90 degree in the knee. You can also like hook your fingers too. That works. If you want, you can try to grab for the outside of the foot. But if you do this and you notice your neck is starting to lift and like get all crunchy, just bring it back and grab hold of the back of the thigh. So this is half happy baby. We're opening up little places in the hip. If you want to try extend your leg a bit, you can. Well, if things are crunching, that's usually not a good sign, so I won't do that again. One more breath. Exhale, pull. All right, you can release your foot if you had it. Pull the knee back into the chest one more time. And then we're gonna switch. So extend the right leg and then pull the left knee into the chest. Flex your right thigh. Inhale, shoulders pull down towards the earth. Exhale, squeeze. 2 more breaths like that. And try to relax your belly. So the more you can relax those muscles, the more you'll be able to pull that thigh in. Last one. Exhale, squeeze. Now open that knee as wide as your shoulder. And then you can either grab from behind the thigh, hooking the hands. Oof, maybe grabbing the ankle, but keep that right thigh flexed. Or grabbing the foot. Oh my goodness. I'm so tight, it's ridiculous. But it's okay, no judgment. I know that like I've been doing nothing. Lots of Netflix, lots of RuPaul's Drag Race. I've been rewatching like from season 1 again. It's my guilty pleasure. One more breath. All right. You can bring the knee back into the chest, give another squeeze. And then I'll bring both knees into the chest and give them both a squeeze. And now we're gonna do real happy baby. So open the knees as wide as the mat, as wide as your shoulders. And if you took the behind the thigh variation, you can do that again, but don't lift your bump. See, I'm lifting my butt a bit. Try to keep pushing your sacrum down onto the floor as you pull. You can also grab for the outsides of the feet. But same rule applies. Like you want to be pushing your lower back down. You want your shoulders to be grounded. And this is going to be easier for some of you than others. And just know that that's normal. We can't all be like infants that are rocking this posture. It's actually called happy baby. So you can just envision babies just like, no problem. Just I'm going to put my foot in my mouth and suck on my tongue. You know, no big deal. So rocking a little bit. Have fun. Like if rocking is scary to you, you don't have to do it, but try a little movement. Maybe even extending one leg when you rock to one side and bending the other and then extending the other leg. Just find some movement. One more breath. And on your exhale, really pull those knees down. Pull, 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 pull. And then release. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor and walk your heels in towards your bum, your sits bones. All right, I'm gonna fix my clothing. And take a deep breath in and extend the right leg up. So we're gonna take one little pull. So pull your thigh in towards you. And then when you're ready, you can let the right ankle rest on the top of the right thigh. Take your hand and push your right thigh away from you, flexing through the right heel and foot so that your foot looks like that. You're protecting that ankle. If this is not doing anything for you, if you can't feel this in the outer hip, take a nice deep breath in. Try to lift the left foot up off the earth, interlacing the fingers behind the left thigh. Yeah, and then you can use your elbow to push open that right knee. So this is opening up to the side. Pardon me. Shoulders staying on the floor, lower back staying on the floor. 2 more breaths. Exhale, squeeze, but keep pushing your sacrum down, keep pushing your shoulders down. Last breath. Exhale. All right, you can release. Keep your right foot where it is. Take a deep breath in, push into your left foot, lift your bum up, and then move your hips over to the right side of your mat. Grab hold of your right ankle if you can, and then slowly roll over onto your left hip so that the sole of your right foot comes to the floor. Now, you might be like, what the heck are you talking about? If you look at the camera, at your screen, you'll notice that my right knee is pointing towards the ceiling. So I want to be opening up through that, but trying to keep both shoulders on the ground. You'll feel the stretch all the way up into your like rib cage. Well, I do because I'm really tight. If you can't grab hold of your right ankle, that's okay. You just want to have the sole of that right foot on the earth. Breathing deeply. Pushing that right knee towards the ceiling. One more deep breath in. And deep breath out. All right. Use your inhale now. Push into your left sole of the foot. Roll back to center. And then readjust your hips so that you're back in the middle of the mat. Let your knees cross now. So let your right foot slide towards the ground. Knees crossing. Deep breath in, squeeze your knees into your chest, and grab hold of your right foot if you can, and your left foot. So you might not be able to grab your left foot. Maybe you can grab your left ankle. Maybe you can grab your left calf. And then open up your feet so that your legs are like in a straight line, almost like handlebars. And then use your exhale to pull. This is intense on the outsides of the hips here. Don't worry, if you're not doing it, if you can't grab that foot, don't have to. Just focus on pulling the right foot towards you, and we'll only open through the right side, because we're going to get the left side later. One more breath. All right, slowly release the left foot back to the earth. Extend the right leg back up. Take a couple circles with your ankle. Oof. Snap, crackle, pop. And then bring the foot to the earth. You're going to go to the other side, so take a nice deep breath. Lift the left foot up. And then cross the ankle. Oh, we forgot. Sorry. Lift the left foot back up again. Take a little stretch. So pull on your leg for a second. Then you can cross. So you're pushing your heel forward, pulling your toes back towards your knee. Take a second, push your left thigh away from you, and just see how it feels. It's often the case that one hip is tighter than the other because we usually favor one more when we're walking, when we're standing, when we're sitting. Like, we're always on one more than the other. So don't expect your yoga practice to be perfectly balanced on both sides. It usually isn't. If you want to go deeper, take a deep breath in, lift your right foot up. Did you see my hand just went to a claw there? I'm like, lift your foot. Yeah, you can see which one is tighter on my body. Interlace your fingers behind your thigh if you want to. You can still have your right foot on the earth. That's fine. I just want you to feel this. If you are interlacing your fingers behind your right thigh, really push that left elbow into your left thigh. Keep flexing your foot. I want you to protect your ankle. Inhale. Exhale. So go a little deeper. Last one. Deep breath in. And on your exhale, if you have the bind, release so that the right foot can come back to the earth. Deep breath in, lift your bum up and move it over to the left a little bit. And then slowly roll over onto your right hip so that the left sole of the foot comes down to the earth. You can grab hold of your right ankle, sorry, your left ankle. So you want your left shoulder to be on the ground if possible. And you're not letting your knee come close to your chest. You're really pushing it open so that you feel a whole stretch through the left side of the body. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. So remember that breath we did at the beginning of the practice? Try to tap into that here. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale to fill the belly, fill the chest. Exhale to let it go. Last one, inhale, really push that knee towards the ceiling, feel that stretch. Exhale, let it go. Now, if you're holding onto your ankle, you can let that go too. And use your inhale to get yourself back to center. Readjust your hips. And then slowly let your knees cross. Yeah. Take your time. Inhale, lift your knees up. Grab for the outside of the left foot first. That one will be easier. And then if you can, try to grab the right. Pardon me. There we go. Oof. But you want to extend both legs so that they are straight, like flush, 90 degrees both knees. I rhymed. 90 degrees both knees. So use your exhale to pull. Now, if this hurts your knees at all, just be like, no. And we'll find another variation for you. Like, you can ask me after the practice. Be like, what else can I do to work my outer hips? And I'll tell you. Which I probably should have said. If there's ever any pain, stop. There's intense feeling and stretching and like, ooh, Lord, like that kind of stuff, it's okay. You can breathe through that. You can work through that. If there's ever sharp pain, just stop and we'll find another solution for you. One more breath. On your exhale, release. You can bring the right foot back to the earth. And then the left foot back to the earth. Open your feet as wide as the mat and let your knees fall in towards each other. So this is called fallen bridge, and just let yourself relax. Let your lower back just like, okay, I'm laying down now. I'm not rounding. Life is good. And then slowly let your knees fall all the way to the right. So really get both knees close to the ground. Feel that stretch in the top of the left thigh, and then slowly go towards the left. Working it out. Oh, good Jesus. And then back to center. So one more time on each side. Just to get a nice deep stretch. Like you'll feel this in your quads. You'll feel this in many places. All right, back to center. So our back bend for the day. So I'm going to sit up for a second. Most of us don't like back bends. Some of us do. Some of us are really good at it. But when I think of a back bend, I'm like, ugh. When I think of a heart opener, I'm like, because it's like romantic and it's nice. Open your heart. So we're going to think about this as a heart opener rather than a back bend. So if you have a block or a book, no offense to anybody, but Bibles are actually really good, especially hardcover ones, because they're usually really thick. Encyclopedias are also really good substitution for a yoga block. So whatever you have, you can bring it by your side. If you don't have a block, you can still do this without, and I'll show you how. So first I will demo with the block so that those who have one can just get straight up into it. So if you have something, take a deep breath, push into your heels, and then lift your pelvis enough that you can put the block underneath your lower back and release down onto it. Now, not just lazily through the heart. I want you to grab the outsides of your mat and walk your shoulders underneath your chest and push the palms, push the heels of your palms into the mat. So this is where you are if you have a block. If you don't have a block, all right. Same thing, grab hold of the mat, make sure you're centered, push into the balls of your feet, push into your heels, and lift your lower back and your middle back. So we're going into full bridge here. Keep your knees over your ankles and keep your knees in line with your hip joints so that we're stacking our joints. Walk your shoulders underneath your chest. Now, if you're on your block, just chill a little bit. But if you're joining me in this half bridge, just breathe. Keep breathing. Push into your feet. Push into your feet. One more breath. Squeeze your thighs together. And on your exhale, you can untuck your shoulders and slowly lower down. If you're on your block, stay there, but you can walk your shoulder out from underneath you. If you're on your back with no block, bring your feet together and stretch your arms above your head. So knees wide, hands on elbows. Take a break. Take a rest. Stretch it out. And again, if you're on your block, it's cool. You don't have to be doing anything. This is perfect. Just let your hips be higher than your heart and let your heart be higher than your brain. That's it. If you want to join me in a second bridge, you can bring your knees back together. Walk your heels in towards your sits bones. Okay, hands by your side. Grab hold of the mat. Deep breath in. Lift your lower back. So first tilt your pubic bone up, then lift your whole pelvis. And walk your shoulders underneath you. Really extend your arms. Push into the heels. Push into the balls of the feet. Now we're not lifting up all the way as if we were in real full bridge. So this is more of like a Pilates style bridge. So you're really using your thighs here. This is all about the thighs. And just look at your heart. Look how open your chest is. Maybe it's covering your face right now though, depending on your chest size. So if that's the case, just try to breathe. Just try to chill. One more breath. And then slowly you can untuck your shoulders and then come down. Ooh, bring your feet wide and windshield wiper your knees from left to right. If you're on a block, take a deep breath in, lift up just enough so that you can remove the block out from underneath you and place it pretty far aside. And then when you're ready, you can come into the knee windshield wiper extravaganza that we're already partaking in. That was a little RuPaul just seeping into my day-to-day speech right there. Extravaganza. All right. Bring the knees back to center. Squeeze them in towards the chest. Now, if you have a towel, if you have a blanket, this is where we need it. So I'm going to grab for my blanket. Where do I put my blanket? Oh, it's all the way over there. So you want it firm. It's not just like a thin blanket because or towel. We want to use it as a prop. So take the time you need to fold it to get it at least an inch tall. Come back on your mat. Walk your heels in towards your sits bones, which are those two pointy things at the bottom of your bum, butt cheek area. Push into your heels, lift, and then slide that blanket or that towel underneath your lower back. And then lift your right knee, and then lift your left knee, and shimmy a little bit. Make sure that you're comfortable. Make sure that it's well placed. And then when you're ready, you can extend your legs towards the ceiling. Now, this is called Viparita Karani in Sanskrit, but the translation is legs up the wall pose. So if you're close to a wall at home and you want to like shimmy your bum up against the wall and have your legs up against the wall, you can do that. Or you can just stay with your legs straight up and start by doing a couple circles with your ankles. In one direction. And then the other, if you're a toe cracker, this is a perfect opportunity to do the toe crack. And this is also a good opportunity to tell you, notice that I have socks on. Those are the days you know things are going to be chill. If you come to an Easy Gentle class and I'm not wearing socks, that's usually like, okay, we're going to work a little harder today. So heads up to all of you. Okay, now try to find a little bit of stillness. You can keep your hands by your side if you want. Or you can extend your arms towards the ceiling, but with relaxed wrists. And close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. And just notice the feelings in the toes. Notice any sensations there. And imagine that any of that fatigue, that heaviness, that tiredness, just starting to drain from the toes, down the feet, over the ankles. And notice it as it moves down the shins and the calves. Following it as it moves over the knees and down the thighs and the hamstrings and over the hips, through the pelvis and out into your blanket or out into your towel so that it just leaves the body. And if your arms are extended, turn your attention to the fingertips and notice any tension or heaviness there just starting to drain. Almost like there's this warmth that's moving from the fingertips down over the wrists, down the forearms. Noticing the sensations as it moves over your elbows, down the upper arms, over the shoulders, down and out of the body, through the back. And now notice a lightness that's replaced any feelings of heaviness or tension or stress. 2 more breaths here. Just allowing anything that doesn't serve you to just drain, to leave your body. Slowly now, you can, if your arms are extended, you can bring your hands back towards your heart. And then release your feet one at a time to the earth. Take a deep breath in, push into your feet, lift your back, and then remove whatever it is that's underneath you. Pull your knees in towards the chest. This is our last posture. Give yourself a squeeze, rocking left and right. Now take a deep breath in and lift your forehead. Try to touch your knees and flex every muscle for 3. Point your toes. 2, 1. And exhale, let it go. Yes, and stretch out the legs, stretch out the arms above your head. Take a big, big stretch. And then release your hands by your body, palms towards the sky. And open your feet as wide as the mat here. And let your toes turn outward so that you can find an external rotation through the thighs. Walk your shoulders under your heart just so that it lifts, so you can find some openness. If you have a blanket and you want to cover yourself, this is a great time to do that. And now take a nice deep breath in through the nose and fill the belly. And open up the mouth, let it go. Again, deep breath in, fill the chest. Open up the mouth, let it go. Last time, deep breath, fill the belly, fill the chest. And hold it there for 3, 2, 1. And open up the mouth, let it go completely. Let your whole body relax down into the mat. Nothing else to do. Nothing to change, nothing to manipulate or alter, just this. Letting your thoughts drift, just like leaves on a stream. You can see them come, they pass in front of you, but then you can watch them go. And knowing that in this moment, that this is perfect. That you're doing exactly what you should be doing. That in this moment you are free. So take these last few precious breaths, knowing that everything is just right. Just as it should be. And slowly start to bring a little bit of movement into the body. So moving the fingertips, moving the toes, making little circles with the wrists and the ankles. Letting that movement travel up to the knees and the elbows. And on your next deep breath in, stretch your arms above your head and point your toes, flex your thighs, stretch the whole body. And exhale out the mouth. Just let it go. And if you need to take a second deep breath, do it. If you feel you need a little bit more time here in your Shavasana or your posture of rest, stay. Stay on your back, stay under the blankets. But for those who are ready, you can gently pull your knees up into your chest. And make your way into your right hand side in fetal position. And take a second here, don't get up right away. Just notice if anything has changed in your body or anything has changed in your thoughts or in your heart. And keep those changes with you for the rest of the day, the rest of the week. And when you feel ready, you can gently lift yourself back up to seated. So using both hands, but try to keep your eyes closed so you can stay with this sense of peace and ease and comfort. And you bring your hands together in front of your heart, and we'll close our practice together with 1 Om and 3 Shantis. And Shanti just means peace. So let's send that out to our communities, to our city, to our country, to the whole world. Deep breath in. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. Namaste.